What is going on, everybody? It's Jay, aka it's News Story here, back from another Phantom Parade video on this wonderful morning. And we have two bits of news, maybe three, if we feel so kind. A new unit for JP is dropping. Already knew about this one for a little bit. Some of you may have already known about it for a while. Alongside Ichichi and Gakuganji, we're getting a new MAI unit, and she is a blue debuffer. Some people were hoping she would be a sub DPS, some people were even hoping for main DPS, but the Twitter page went out of their way to specifically say a new debuffer. So, first things first, we're obviously going to look just at the preview video together, as we always do. And first things first, okay. For the people out there that's like, oh man, she could have potential to be in that DPS slot. I would love to believe in your theories. But here's the first thing I see off rip in the passives, right? She already has evasion, that's cool. She has stealth, that's cool. She has the damage nodes for blue, right? From the SP. But then there's the defense node. And one thing you guys may need to take note is that some support units, they will have, like, in their potential unlock system, they will have like the damage nodes at the start, but when they go to SP2, they will have defense nodes instead. And most of the time, I say most of the time very loosely, support units, you know, don't really do too much damage in combat will have those defense nodes. I feel like the only odd one out in this scenario is Teen Nanami, because he does have defense nodes, which I feel like he should have damage nodes, in my personal opinion. But yeah, like you'll see somebody like Shoko, for example, like she has defense nodes. Mai has the defense node right here, because I started to notice that for these showcases, specifically I saw for Summer Yuji, is that they max out the SP tree for these units. And off rip, skill 1 does have a critical hit increase attached to it. And another spoiler is that this unit is also a hybrid unit. Hybrid agenda through the moon, right? But first we have the skill 2. Now this skill 2 has a new passive, I believe, attached to it, but it's just a, you know, a damage received skill for 3 turns. Now mind you, I'm gonna just say this off of spoilers, her kit looks so basic. I can't even lie. In comparison to a lot of the other crazy releases we've got this year, this is like a real surface level unit. But when she pops this skill, it's obviously a hybrid. It's a hybrid skill. Damage received for 3 turns. You can see the little blue stat. Do you guys ever think we'll leave the mono meta, or we're just staying in the mono meta until the end of time? But damage received, just like you know, one of our other friendly blue support units, right? Where's our boy at? Where's he at? Just like Himmy Duncan over here. A lot of people really want to see this guy get power cliffed. I'm sorry, I just Unk don't see it. Unk does not see it. No, that's all I will say, right? I do not see it. But right here, then we got a skill 3. Skill 3, flashbang, cool, very nice. These 2 passives, so apparently this passive right here is called the pursuit state, and this one right here is the follow-up attack state. And apparently they're supposed to be different states, but they apparently do basically the exact same thing, which I think is very interesting. I don't know how that will really apply over into actual combat, but she also has critical hit resistance lowering, so that's really good for our lovely black flash units in the game. You know, a certain Summer fellow would love to have some of that on his team alongside Blue Nanami. And obviously we have an ultimate. This one right here, it has the damage received symbol on it. She has her crit rate up. I always like the little bullet animation. The bullet animations is pretty cool. But I will say, it does say in her ultimate, it says increases the selected enemy's blue damage received, so that's obvious. And it says increases the selected enemy's break damage received. Listen, hybrid units and break damage received, it's just the meta. But alongside that, it also says with more lurking count, the greater the damage dealt. So mind you, again, in the listed kit, they have follow-up attack status and pursuit status, which I don't know where the lurking status is coming from. Again, that could be with her passive that we just don't know about yet. Because again, from a surface level point of view, her kit looks very, very plain, right? But with units nowadays, you know, they either have a super duper crazy kit, right? And they also have a pretty decent passive attached to them. Or they're pretty straightforward, have an insane passive, or they're a combination of both. I think this MAI, in any case, it's probably going to have a crazy passive because, again, the kit looks very, very straightforward. Super duper straightforward. Look at that animation again real quick. But a lot of people are wondering off the top of their heads. They're like, listen, we need somebody to power cliff this guy. And I'm like, relax. But anyway, if MAI were to even like scratch at what GOJO can do for blue, I think it would be pretty okay. Because the fact that she's a standard unit, well, she would be a future pending unit to be put on standard banner. It would be better for the overall player base to just have a unit that, let's say, they could have more reruns throughout the year. At some point, they will be on more paid banners, and at another point, they will end up being to be pulled on the standard banner with ticket multis. Well, unlike GOJO, where GOJO comes back like once a year, right? And we know that that time frame in November is where everybody should go crazy for Volume 0 stuff. And basically, if you're a new player that appears after the Volume 0 event, you're basically out of GOJO and out of Miguel and out of the Yutas until next year. Well, obviously the Urame Dice event was like something that was completely random. Nobody predicted it. But a standard option for blue damage received is really, really good. Because don't get me wrong. Listen, we got these SPs. And I feel like we got these SPs and a lot of y'all lost the plot. Nanami is an amazing buffer alongside being a damage dealer. But the pure free-to-play floor 89 clear, like when you're basically using just like blue Inumaki as your main stat debuffer, and then you have like Miwa and Nanami on the same team, don't get me wrong, it can be done, but it doesn't mean it's a comfortable clear, which is obviously more units encompassing like very specific archetype like debuffing isn't too bad, but it's also a matter of the percentages she have attached to her skill. Also, she has like a passive that would work pretty well. I mean, since it's a MAI unit and she has follow-up attacks, the red version of her unit, which I haven't used in a very long time. In fact, I'm probably going to scroll past her a couple times before I see her again. I know I don't have her that invested. Yeah, there we go. Like, the red version of her unit isn't exactly a bad unit. She was very CE efficient for her overall kit. The only issue with her is that she was a taijutsu unit for the most part. Like, she has taijutsu scaling for like all of her skills except her ultimate. So turning her full hybrid was just the best route possible in my opinion. Because even if she does like a little bit of damage, she's applying a little bit of damage to majority of the content in the game. Because the new JP tower floors are now incorporating cuts to mixed, or not mixed, hybrid. So they're incorporating cuts to hybrid, which definitely sucks. But again, for a majority of the content in the game, a character like MAI will work because of her mixed damage status, for hybrid damage status. And obviously, again, like this skill would definitely help with Black Flash characters. Like, I feel like because of the fact that she's hybrid, like a team, hypothetically, of like Blue Yaga, MAI, Miguel, Yuji could be generational. I can't lie. It could be a pretty crazy team. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, it's a pretty good team. Also, like, basically, you can kind of make that team and, like, swap out, you know, Miguel for, like, Inumaki of sorts. Depending on how much damage she does, I mean, you could probably put her in slot 3 right next to Nanami. Because there was videos with, like, the new Gaku Ganji where they were placing him in slot 4. So at this point, I believe anything is possible for this game. But in my personal opinion for the MAI, a lot of people are like jumping up in arms and being like, okay, please replace Ghetto. And I will say, please wait until we see like the actual percentages before screaming insert character gets power clipped. Because every time a new unit drops, the immediate conversation is insert unit power clipped? And it's like, guys, we don't even know like the percentages on the unit's abilities yet. We don't even know how these units really work or like how they operate in general content. The main advantage I would give MAI off of Ghetto without knowing like the actual percentages. Like I'm making up some hypothetical percentages in my head that would somehow be relative to Ghetto at his peak, is that Ghetto doesn't apply debuff on his ultimate and MAI does. So you would have just that consistent, debuff being applied all throughout. I mean, considering that you can keep your curse energy up, her skills aren't exactly like very costly in CE. 20 is pretty standard. 25 can be considered a little bit extravagant, but I doubt this will be like a skill that you would be spamming all throughout. I feel like this would be a unique skill just because of the fact that it has critical hit resist on it and not like any other crazy. Actually, that applies to her status, right? Yeah, applied her status. So it's just like a very unique skill that you would use. This would probably be your bread and butter, and obviously your ultimate. And her ult gauge being 1,558 is also a pretty interesting one, because for supports, it's a bit on the heavier side, I would say, for a support unit, because the 1,558 range, I mean, you're in Greenonomy territory, right? You have Ghetto, you have the 1,300. What is Blue Inu looking like? Yeah, 1,168. It's a pretty, like, what about Miguel? Like, yeah, we're kind of operating with a pretty decently sized ult gauge in comparison to the pre-existing blue supports in the game. So, all in all, I am rather interested to see how this MAI works, because they have been spamming out this 1,558 ult gauge bar like it's nothing, right? And especially considering the fact that, like, I think the main strength to blue is that they all have like some pretty short ult gauge bars. Blue Nanami 1,168. Biwa has under 1,000, right? Yeah, 973. So 1,558 is a pretty big jump in comparison. I'm very interested, very, very interested to see how this unit performs. And just like any other support unit, I'm wondering if it'll change up any major team comps coming up in the future. But I'm not sure. I'm still not sure. I give Ghetto like the benefit of the doubt. Not even the benefit of the doubt. I give him like the edge just because you only need 3 turns. You only need 3 turns and you're fully set up. It's just that easy. Turn your brain off. And depending on team comps, he can be a comparable, slot 3 unit. He could be a comparable slot 2 unit. I mean, most people designate him to slot 1. He can just kind of be used in a lot of different places depending on how you want to play your blue team. With MAI, in order for her to take that place, her debuffs would have to be at least comparable, right? At least have to do a little bit of damage as well. But it's all on the speculative side of things, and that's all we can really do is speculate. But we love speculating here on this channel. We love thinking. But that's Blue MAI. Let me know how you guys feel about the recent support units that are dropping for the game. Obviously, green Ichichi, red Gaku Ganji, blue MAI. Bunch of very, very out of left field units, I would say. But for global, oh man, the boy GOJO is dropping tomorrow. I'm refreshing just in case we got any like new news. But no, it's been an hour. The only news drop is GOJO at the moment. I will say, alongside GOJO, we're also supposed to be getting the paid SSR selector tickets. So we can choose, like, for example, if you're missing a standard unit, right? They'll give you an option to say, hey, which one do you want to just grab with a ticket? And obviously, it will be like a $24.99. It'll be 3,000 cubes, a selector ticket, and then you could just pick any current standard banner unit you want. It doesn't matter if you owned them previously, and I think that's like one of the most highest value paid items in the entire game, alongside the rec bit variation as well. It's the exact same concept, very, very high value paid stuff, and it should be dropping the same day as this GOJO. Not sure why they haven't announced it yet, but they also have been very sloppy with their announcements recently. But GOJO is coming tomorrow, 3 p.m. UTC +9. If I remember correctly, that's just like just a little bit after midnight for my time frame. So y'all know I'll be up. And yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, global really like fell flat. Actually, wait, no. Pause. Rewind. That's not it. I gotta show y'all something that, man, hold on. Y'all see this, right? The Phantom Parade merchandise box. So basically, if you go into the main menu of Phantom Parade, right, and you go into the page shop real quick, there's this thing here. My game's broken, so I can't really show it to you properly, but you see merch, CD key, item, text masters, right? Some random filler slop words. I'll do this. I'll say this. I'll read it out for you. Basically, there's a 1.5 anniversary gift like box coupon, right? And it gives 3,000 cubes and a voucher. And it's not even a voucher that's just like, okay, I get like a cool immediate discount on the little box here, or like I get the box for free or something if I buy like the limited 1,000 units of this. No. Right? You buy this pack, it gives you a voucher. You use this voucher on this website, right? Yes, I agree. I declined that. You use this voucher for an $80 gift box. It's not even just an immediate like, oh yeah, I'm able to buy it. No. In order for you to even enter, you gotta buy a $25 voucher in Phantom Parade to then get the permission to have a chance to buy an $80 box. Now, mind you, they did say that there was like a coupon or it was gonna be like a reduced price to purchase it, I believe. Like, yeah, and enjoy a special discount. But it doesn't tell you what the special discount could be, right? So it's like, do I just risk it, spend $25, then figure out what like this random $80 original price tag turns into afterwards? Come on now. And there's only 1,000 of them limited. And on top of that, this cheap company wants me to cover shipping as well. Whatever. You know, like I originally was going to purchase this for the sake of content, but this is rather ridiculous. Okay, that's all for me. Okay, no more ranting. I'm not buying. I don't even care if they turn this box into $20. All right, I'm spending $25 to have a chance to buy an $80 box. Well, not a chance. Yuji, stop screaming in the background. But $25 to get permission to then invest in this $80 box. Whatever. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord server. It's in the channel bio. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers, so be sure to hit that sub button. It's been Jay, aka It's Gift Box Story. And I will see you guys later.